No worries. Okay. Guys, one more question that is related to the email studio. One important thing what I kept on hold was the suppression list. So there is a option called suppression list. So this is highly important because this is a common question what I have seen people asking in the interviews. What is, they'll ask you like what is the difference between exclusion list and suppression list. So this will be the common question. Even I when I took interview with a lot of people were not able to answer. That means not the exact answer. They say something but not the exact answer, because we don't use these things very frequently, but it's highly important to know what is suppression list. There are two things in marketing cloud. If I come over here in the user initiated emails, let me go to this. Maybe I'll take this. If I come down here, there are two things. If I edit the recipient, it asks like, what do you mean by suppression list? Here we have two things. One is um, excluded and suppression list. When you ask a difference, basically how this one is, it is very difficult to understand, but I'll try to make it as simple as I could so that you can understand, because functionality wise it is same, but in the implementation wise, or maybe if you wanted to know theoretically, it is little bit confusing. So here, let me take an example, just an example I will take. So what I will tell is, imagine we have Gopi and Ashok in my team. So they are working as developers, and I'm a consultant for them. So what I will tell to Gopi is, Gopi, see, I'm giving you 1,000 contacts. In that, yesterday, I have sent 500 already. I have sent emails for 500 people. You send emails for rest 500 people. So this is what I'll say to Gopi. And for Ashok, I will say the same, but it is for different campaigns. So here Gopi is sending emails for anniversary, and Ashok is sending emails for Jubilee. So these two people having individual campaigns, and in that half of them yesterday it was sent, so they have to send only for half of the people. So here all 2,000 contacts, that means the contacts which I gave for Ashok and the contacts which I gave for Gopi, both are valid. That means all, they are not unsubscribed at all, they are valid contacts. So how can Ashok or Gopi handle that? So they wanted to exclude 500 people. They're active customers, that means they are active recipients, they're properly opt-in customers. So how can they exclude it? At that point of time, what they will do is they will create one more data extension or a group or a list or a data filter or whatever it is. They create it and they keep the 500 contacts. That means the contacts who received email yesterday, those contacts, they will keep it in that data extension and they would run the campaign. So here the people opt-in people, that means they have opted in, the valid people. So the valid people, we put it in the exclusion. So that means we're excluding those people. So those are called as exclusion list. So those people whom we keep are exclusion. That means when we run a campaign, our user initiated will take only the people from this targeted audiences, not on the excluded audience. And day after tomorrow, when Gopi and Ashok already completed their campaigns, I will tell them like, okay, now you run a campaign, all 2,000 people. Now what Ashok will do is he will eliminate this exclusion list and he will just put the target audience, the 1,000 people whom I gave, he run the campaigns, which is successful. And also Gopi does the same. So now they would run for 1,000 people. If they don't want it to send for some people, they'll put it in an exclusion list. So that is exclusion list. That means all the valid customers whom you don't want to send an email will go into exclusion list. Here again, what do you mean by suppression list? You remember one concept. Unluckily, we were not able to run this in this business unit, but definitely by end of our course, when I'm going to explain some real-time scenarios in a real-time business unit. At that point of time, I will explain what is the exact functionality of publication list. Of course, I already told you. Maybe if you haven't seen it, you will see it later. So the publication list is, let's take an example that here I already gave an example related to a publication list. So in that publication list, that means if you wanted to make a campaign level unsubscribe, these terms, if you are a non-marketing cloud person, it is little bit difficult to understand. There's opt-ins, opt-outs, campaigns, audiences. These are new terminologies which you might need to learn and you have to use it. If you use these terminologies, then you can convince the interviewer, or maybe you can convince your superiors that you have already worked extensively in the marketing cloud. So if you take a publication list, this publication list is, let us take Gopi is working on one campaign. I'll tell to Gopi that, see Gopi, we are sending emails for so many people. Now we wanted to introduce some new campaigns. Like maybe for example, we wanted to send some summer sale, some spring sale. We wanted to do some spring sale. So I'll tell to Gopi that we are working in some Adidas company. We have a lot of offers. So I'll tell to Gopi, please Gopi, run a campaign for, I give him 10,000 records. So I'll ask him to do the campaign. So what he'll do is he'll create a user initiated email. He'll put 10,000 emails and he will start executing it. Instead of all subscribers here, he will put a publication list. I already told you what is a publication list. Please go to previous videos. You will get an answer. So here he will select a publication list. He will send for 10,000 people. In that 10,000 people, 1,000 people, they are not interested with this campaign. They are highly interested with Adidas products. They wanted to receive all the emails from Adidas products, but that particular summer sale campaign, they are not interested. So they wanted to get rid of that email, because every day we are sending an email, because a summer sale means it's completely summer. We are sending them the emails, hey come on, today we have 50% offer, tomorrow I will send, hey come on, buy this particular shoe, we have this many offers. So we continuously sending him, so people get pissed off. So what people will do is, if you allow them to unsubscribe, our person is gone. That means he has opted out. We cannot send him an email. But if you keep a publication list for him, so when he unsubscribes, only that spring related emails would be unsubscribed and they are captured in publication list. So in publication list, when you go and see there, there is an option called unsubscribe, but in all subscribers they are not unsubscribed, but they are only unsubscribed in publication list. That means for that particular campaign they don't want to have that emails at all. So those kind of a people, that means the people who have done a list unsubscribe. I already told you there are three unsubscribes. One is list unsubscribe, one is master, and one is global. So the people who have done the list unsubscribe, so those people, we will put it in a suppression list. Suppression list means do not contact list. That means we don't want to contact them at all. Exclusion list means we can contact them later. That means we just excluded the people. So that is a major difference. Subtraction list is do not contact. That means we should not contact them. They are dangerous people. They don't want to hear our campaign. So those people, we create a suppression list and we will put it over here. And how to create that is, you come here, it is same like this. Maybe you can go to this one, go to my trainings, and you create it here. You can give a name and you can add it, and you have to import. Say if there is already one which is created, you have to import into it. So if you click this and you have to import it here, once you import it, it comes over here. So here just you will have an email ID and unsubscriber key, and it would give a person like when it is unsubscribed. And when a person is unsubscribing it, sometimes we ask a reason also. May I know why are you unsubscribing? This is optional. If people is interested, they will give. If they are not interested, they are completely annoyed with the emails, they don't give the reason. So here it by default it says they are unsubscribed. You don't find a status at all. Here you don't find a status. That means why there is no status is because by default all the unsubscribed people, they are already here. So that's the reason we use suppression list. I assume that you got a answer for this. And one more thing is, one more important question what people ask is, what do you mean by auto suppression? So this is also a highly important question. If a person who has extensively worked on marketing cloud, and if they have an in-depth knowledge on marketing cloud, those people, they deal with auto suppression configurations also. So what do you mean by auto suppression? So auto suppression is highly simple. It's not so complicated. Yesterday we have seen trigger sense. So what happens in trigger sense is, imagine that in trigger send we are running a campaign like this. Maybe for example, we are running a campaign registration page. So all the people will get a registration. So here first we send a registration email. So people registers it. When once they register it, we get a successful message. We will send a successful message to them to trigger send. Once the successful, if they open the successful, then we will send him one more email saying them that some offer email. So we sent 3 emails. So if you see my yesterday's videos, I know it was late yesterday, but maybe next time when you see my video in trigger sense, there is option called as synchronous and asynchronous. If you use asynchronous in the option, it would come like because this trigger sense, when you select a priority as medium, some companies says please select a medium only, because the thing is, each high priority message consumes four super messages or 5 super messages. So in order to avoid that one, people use a medium level messages. If they use a medium level messages, I told you, it sometimes it takes 5 minutes to go. So when you use synchronous, first registration page would go. Successful message will not go until unless first the registration page would go. So first the registration page, after that only, even if it takes time, successful message will go. After some time only, this offer email would go. So if you based on the synchronous and asynchronous options, you get these 3 messages. So once you get these 3 messages, here imagine that you sent a registration page. Person, he don't like to receive our email, he unsubscribed it. He clicked unsubscribe. He don't want to receive our email. Then what we would do is, or else imagine after receiving a success message, after receiving a successful message, he unsubscribed it. That means he don't want to receive our email. Before he receives the successful message, already our trigger send is been activated. It would send an email. So if a person sitting somewhere, maybe in Germany, because in Germany the rules are highly strict. They, even if they get some, even though if a person unsubscribed it, if they get an email, they would have all the rights to put a case on your company. Not only in Germany, across Europe, the rules would go like that. So what happens is, in that case, he's already unsubscribed, and if you send one more email, this is a problem. So how to handle this kind of situation? I just took an example. Maybe there could be a reason like you're sending offer 2 email, and again you might send offer 3 email. Chances are there, because once you learn automations and journeys, there would be a lot of scenarios where your journey keeps sending them the emails. Like they send this one, this one, this one, your journey complete automatically it sends. So in that case, how to avoid this? At that time, we have this auto suppression configuration, which is highly important. So this auto suppression configuration is, so how do we do this? Still loading. So here, here you don't need to do this, but you just need to know what these things are. So here, if you see this auto suppression configuration, if you open this, is it loading? Okay, let me create one. So here in this auto suppression configuration, you gave a name. You don't need to give a single key, but it automatically takes it. And here by default it will have a email address, and when the date has been added, by default it has these 2 things, because these people, these things has to be, it has to be opted out. So here you have to enable for some particular campaigns. I mean, it is completely, you have to put it for a classification type. If you put it for transactional, so this one, when a person unsubscribes it, all the queue gets deactivated. That means the people who are in the queue, like as I said here, or when the person received an email, so here when they unsubscribe it, these two would be deactivated. That means these two messages will not reach them. It would say like it's been unsubscribed. That means you will have it in a soft bounce or you will have it in hot bounce, but I haven't experienced it. But that person will not receive a message at all. These two messages he will not receive. So this we have to put it for a classification. You can put it for commercial, or you can put it for transactional, or maybe you can put it for both. Or else maybe if you have a multiple sender profiles, we can put it for multiple sender profiles. But we don't currently in our system, we don't have multiple sender profiles. I mean, you can give it for sender profiles. See here we have one sender profile, you can give it for the sender profiles, or maybe you can put it for classification. If you give for this, then which and all the what and all the emails which is going with this transactional or a commercial or any email, so this is this one will keep an eye on those messages in the queue and it gets suppressed. So that is why they use auto suppression configuration. So this is about suppression list, and maybe suppression list you can try to use. You can try to practice. You can put everything in a publication list, and maybe then the list, the people in the publication list, you can put it in the suppression list and you can execute it. So this is these are certain things. It is highly important because they will keep asking what is the difference between list and data extension, what is the difference between exclusion and suppression, can you tell me about auto suppression. So these are the very frequent questions what you see in an interview. So today we would be discussing about Automation Studio. So yesterday I told you a little bit of automation, but today I will tell you a little bit in depth of Automation Studio. That means today we will discuss about a new feature. That means today we will discuss about file drop automation. So if you see the data flow, the data structure in the Marketing Cloud, first thing is you see there is a data relationship options and there is a data flow options, and one more thing is the data storage options. Data flow is nothing but if an interviewer asks you like can you please tell me what is the data flow in Marketing Cloud. So data flow in Marketing Cloud is nothing, it is simply like how you flow data into the system. Either you put a data manually, or you put a data through API, or you put a data to file drop. So next question they will ask you like what is which one you have extensively worked. I have to say depends on the requirement. If it is less than 20 MB file, or if it is 10 MB file, I would go with normal loading of data. Suppose if it is maximum more than 20 MB, then I would go with file drop data. Or other options is Marketing Cloud APIs. Maybe after when we discuss with all Marketing Cloud APIs, you will get to know how to transfer the data through APIs. And one more question is what is the different types of storage locations in the data manage here in Marketing Cloud. There is a different types of storage locations, because this I have seen even Bank of America and also American Express, a lot of big companies, they are also using Marketing Cloud nowadays. I see Bank of America using from a very long time. If a marketing, if a Bank of America is using, in the sense like they might be using a lot of secured kind of data. Maybe they will have a lot of informations like a credit card informations, or maybe the bank accounts, bank details. So how do they secure this data? So how do they keep their data secured? So if you see other campaigns, right, why Marketing Cloud is highly used is because security reasons only. Why people trust Salesforce is because of security reasons only. That's the reason. One of the major successful thing in Salesforce is because of security. So how do this Marketing Cloud secure their data? Here, if you come here into the setup, if you come into this data management, there is something called as file location. In this file location, one is exact target enhanced FTP. So this one you get it default. So when you buy a business unit, this one you get it by default. And this is something which I created. Maybe I can delete this also. but make sure that you people don't delete this, because if you delete this, then we cannot do anything in marketing cloud. So this is a problem. So this one, I don't think you, I think you can delete it, but please don't delete it. So if you see here, if I create it here, there are a lot of options. One is external FTP site, external SFTP site, FTPS, safe house, export directory. Like, see, there are a lot of things. So here, this one, why do we need this is FTP site export directory. We need it to export the data from marketing cloud. If you wanted to take a data away from marketing cloud, could be it is a reports, or maybe suppose if you wanted to take some data, you can export it. So we can use this, like export FTP. We can put this, and we can put this off. So here you can use this, and also there is one more called as safe house. So this safe house is something which is highly important. So this one you have to pay amount for this one. So this safe house, why we need is a highly secured place where you store a data, the marketing cloud data, you would be storing it. So this is a safe house. Maybe I can enable this also, but this, as of now, in our case, it doesn't work because we have to work with marketing cloud team to enable this. But it is fine, just let that be, not a problem. So yes, now we have three things. So this one by default it is available, and we can use this. So for this, if we could have admin access, we can see how this has been configured. So this one, they would give you one URL for us. So this is the URL, and also they would give the FTP name, and this is the password. So these things I can share it with you. You can keep it, and you have to download this FileZilla, this FileZilla. You have to download it and install it in your system. So once if this FileZilla is installed, then maybe that is a location, that is a FTP where you can use for putting a data. It's same like Postman, because we don't have an external system. So we are using a FileZilla to put the data into marketing cloud. But if we could have some external system, for example, imagine you're integrating your system with some Amazon, like for example AWS server. If you're integrating that, so if you sit with data admin guy, you can tell him that hey, come on, this is my FTP. So we are using a FTP site, so this is my URL, this is my username and password. Can you please put a data into this one? So that person knows how to put a data, so he can access your FTP folder, and he can put unlimited data. Marketing cloud has a feature that you can put any number of, you can put 10,000 GB, you can put 100 GB, you can put any number of data. But marketing cloud, in one transaction, it just takes 3 GB of data. If you put a Excel sheet of more than 3 GB, our automation will not be able to take it up, it gets failed. So now let us see how to use this FTP. And here let's see, I will go into this. So if you want to export a data, I'll go here. So here is my data, I can export it. So when you want to export it, here you have an option, whether if you wanted to use it for FTP, this you can do it, or maybe if you click on a browser download, and if you click it, it gets downloaded here in the browser itself. Or if you wanted to compress the file, you can put it as a zip file. You can, if you click this, it comes as a zip file. Or maybe this is encryption. Here we have to generate some keys, we have to work with Salesforce, so they would give some keys. So if you use these keys, we can encrypt it. The person who receives our folder, he he knows how to decrypt it and take it. So this is a different option. We have to work with Salesforce to make it happen. And yeah, this is a file name. So how to put it in FTP? If I click this, it asks a notification email address, and I can click on export. So here it shows it is exported. So now where the data has been gone. So now we have to know where the data is gone. But I'm not 100% sure whether it would go or not, because I don't know whether our export FTP works, but let's see, like at least the import works, because by default the import works. Let's see if this works or not. Now, before putting a data, I'll show you like how this FTP works. So this is FileZilla. Once you install it, once you install this file, you get this kind of a screen. So here, this is the URL. You have to paste it here, and this is the username, and the password is the same, and port is by default it is 22. Click connect. It asks whether I have to do establish a new connection, because already connection is active. You press OK. So it shows like here, it shows like it is export. So this one we enabled it, but I'm not sure whether it works or not. So there's the import and trigger automation. So here, if I see import, it's completely empty. So if you want to put a data into marketing cloud, you have to use this. Now if you put in data into this, nothing happens because there is no automation active. First, let us build automation here. So before we build an automation, yeah, it says that export completed. Export demo can be found in the export directory of your FTP site. So let me see what's happening here. See here, the data is there. So data has reached it. So now I can, if you want, you can download this. You can click here and you can download it into your system. So that also you can do it. So I'll download it. So it comes an option, and it gets downloaded into my system. So here it got downloaded. So here is the data. So now I would so this is the data, let it be here. Put this into my desktop. Now let us build an automation here. So let us go into Automation Studio. I will clear this off. So here, imagine there is no data. Now using this FTP, we are going to put the data into our marketing cloud. So how to put that? So before we do that, we have to go into Automation Studio. Let us go into My Trainings. Let us create a new automation. So here we have to use a file drop, and here there is something called as import file. So each one of the thing has its own functionality. Most companies, they use only very few things. Even in my experience, I work with a lot of companies, they use either this one or this one. Also they might not use, because using SQL you can use this. Sending email, they use journeys to do it. SQL query is vastly used because of segmentations, you need to use SQL query. But import file is something which is highly used. This is highly important, you need to know this properly. So once you click this, first of all you have to configure this. Come here, configure it. Here there are two options. One is no file pattern or use file pattern. If you use no file pattern, any file which comes into FTP will flow into your system. If you use file pattern, only those files which has that particular name will flow into our system. So for example, I will keep this. Here I can use contains or begins with or ends with. You can use anything. So imagine I would put like demo. So I kept this. And one more is disable queuing. Disable queuing in the sense, if I enable this one, what happens is, as soon as you put a file, it immediately starts flowing. But if you enable this one, sorry, if you enable this one, that means disable queuing is active. That means like it will not queue at all. Once you put a file, it will automatically walks in. And suppose imagine that there are already 20 files are running. If you don't click this, so what happens is when you put this, it will stand in a queue. It will wait like, okay, let the first file go, second file go, third file go, then only this would come. So that is how it works. But in our case, we don't have any other files, so let it be. So these are two things. One is import and trigger automation. So these two things you might have seen here in this FileZilla. There is see here the trigger automations, and one is import files. So these two things are here because you can put it whichever you selected, it would go over there. So you selected this, done. So this is completely over. Now you have to create an import file. So come here. Here you have to create some new import definition. Click here. See here, demo import. You have to give a proper naming convention. Like as I said, in the best practices, you have to give a proper, when you go into a company, make sure you give a proper description, like why you're doing, how you're doing, so everything. And also you need to have this one important, because if anything fails, you should know. So if you enable this one, you get a notification like, okay, this is successful, this is failed or anything. So you give this, click next. Where you have to store, there is a lot of locations, but for us this is the active. So exact target, enhanced FTP, you have to select this. Please don't use safe house or export FTP. Even if you use it, you cannot access, because we don't have access for these two things. Put into this. And next, like here it asks the file pattern. So how your file name should be. Here you can give any file name pattern. For example, in our case, I would just give demo. And if you wanted to have some date format, you can give like a year, month, hour, minute, second. Because imagine you have an application, this FTP, right? If you have a third-party system, a different system where you get a data, for example, you have integration with Facebook. So what Facebook people will say is, so every day we send you a data. Whoever likes your page, we will send you a data, and you will start running the campaign. So that's what Facebook people will tell. So what Facebook will do is, every year, every month, every day, every hour, every minute, every second, they keep on putting a data into your FTP. So once they put a data like demo blah 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 date second, it would put, so your file starts running. And next file he will put something else. So already this is active, your system will be confused which one to take. So it has to take on a specific time and date. So when you keep this hour, date and time, whenever current time matches with that, it would take. So currently, as of now, we don't need to do that. Let's not go so much deeper. So what I will do is I'll take this pattern here, the date format. I said you know how important it is, but as of now in our file there is no date, so no problem. Delimiter, it is a comma separated. You are skipping the bad rows. And there's one more option just for your information, advanced file options. So this one, it skips. Suppose like if you don't wanted to take the data which comes in last so and so hours, so if you can skip that, maybe you can skip like number of hours you can skip. Or else suppose if you are getting some old data, if there is a file which came very old, so in within that many hours, if you got that file and if you don't wanted to use it, so you can use it. But this one I haven't used it because there was no necessity for us. So since we are giving a proper date format conventions and all, you don't need to use it. So let's ignore this. And here where you have to load the data. So here it asks if you want to load subscriber list, you can load, but you don't need to load into subscriber list. You always have to go into a data extension. That is the best practice. So here what I would do is which one I did. So it is demo BH. I selected this and it asks whether you have to do it with a header, because this doesn't know what header it is, and also whether you want to do it with order or maybe manually, it would ask. So now we can give it with a header. And also here also we have options: add only, update only, add and update, override. So these, if you want to do these things, you should have a primary key in that one, or maybe you can just update, add only, or maybe you can overwrite it. Click next. It says it would overwrite all the data, which is fine. And you can verify everything. Okay, this is a data extension and all this. Okay, once everything is done, you have finished it. So once this is done, see here, always, like many times I have seen a lot of people, they keep a lot of interest in doing this. They keep a lot of interest in saving it. Like they save it, but they would forget to activate it. Highly important. Make sure that you don't quit out of your automation before activating it. If you don't active, it doesn't work. So you have activated. So now your automation is active. Now you can ask your FTP person to put a file here. So here we have a file. What I would do is I would rename this to demo. So this is here, and this one I told I will be putting into import file. I'll drag it and I'll drop it here. So it shows here this directory update successful. So this has been updated. Now let's me see what is the status of my automation. If you come here, it says it's running. We just need to give some time. It will not take much time. And also we have to monitor our emails. It got failed. So come and see like why it got failed. If you hover it, this is the only place where you can see the error. Click on here. Sorry, this one will take here, but here if you could over here, it shows like import failed, file demo not found. So this is the error what I got. Maybe we get the same error here also, but it will take some time anyway, it's not a problem. So what I did is so when you come here, you click here. When you click on this, the common mistake what we do is, what I used to do is, I will give a proper naming format, but I don't give a proper extension, because there could be a reason that demo.xls might come in, demo.jpg can come in, demo. Something else can come in, but we have to tell specifically to marketing cloud that, hey, come on, we wanted to take only this format, so we have to give a proper format for this. Now I have given it here. So it already says, like, see, we don't see anything which is like this. So it clearly tells me with this error. So now I have given, now the file matching is currently in the file location. So it says a valid, it's now it says that it works. So here only it gives an option, it says that it works. So you have saved it again, next, finish. So this is done. And again, now you don't need to click this automation, because the problem is you have just edited the activity. So it would be in active state only. You come here and save once again. So it has been saved now. So here it is saved. Now let us try to drop again. So I dropped it again. It asks override is fine. Yes, okay, it's fine. Now let's see what's happening. So now it says it's successfully completed. It came in a green color. So now you go and see this one. So here, so now you have all the records here. So everything is fine now. Next, one more thing is, yeah, this is about a file drop automation, and you can do this. You can create this, download it, you can add this FTP, you can try using this, giving a username password, you can try to load the data into it, and maybe you can do some experiments on this, and you would get to know like how this one works. Maybe you can give some date formats and it fails, try to change the date format and try to execute it. It's same like loading the data. So basically if they give me a file, like before the person, like as I said, as a best practice, first thing what you give is you ask them a sample file, because this file whatever you're loading is this demo CSV is coming all the way, like it is coming into FTP and it is coming into automation, and again it is coming into a data extension. Sometimes if it fails you doesn't know where it is failed. So always what I would do is, as a best practice, I will open Excel sheet, I will take the data. So I will take each and every column here and I will try to put it here. So I would put an add record and I'm going to put everything, and if I see whether everything is compatible or not, if it's not compatible then I can say like no, it's not compatible, please change it. So once everything is done, you just do a sample upload normally here using an import option. If it works fine, then you can clearly say that okay, your file is fine, let's put into FTP. So that is how we follow a best practice to do it. I mean the easiest way. Then once if it is successful, then the file can come through FTP. So can you tell me if you have any questions here? Okay, I assume there is no questions.
Yeah, hi.
Oh, yes, please.
Just one question. When the Marketing Cloud is interacting with this FileZilla, how the username password is set in this Marketing Cloud instance? Means where you
Uh,
have defined this thing.
yes. So for that, we need admin access for that. Maybe I can show you tomorrow, like how to do this. But the thing is, see here, there is a MID right here. So
Yeah,
using this
yeah.
MID, already they have one more ID with this name, but we have requested for one more FTP. So this one you get it over there by using, maybe tomorrow I can show you. So there you can add it, you can add, you can verify it, and you can get it. So this one we need admin permissions, but I will tell you how to enable this. This one your admin will take care of it.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine.
But you should ask him, you should ask them like, can you please give me a SFTP URL and username and password, so they would give it to you. But it's a good question, I will tell you tomorrow.
Okay, sure. On Monday probably.
Yes, Monday. Monday, yes.
Yeah,
So here
okay.
it shows that it is successfully completed, so you get an email. So do you have any more questions on this? Okay.
No, fine.
Okay, so next thing is we will move on to one more. Here, before we go into one complete applications, there are certain things which good to know functionalities which I will also let you know. So here there is one more called as data extract. So if you wanted to add, says that please deactivate now. Yes, you have deactivated it. There is something called data extract. So here I'll tell you what do you mean by this data extract. So this data extract, what happens is this one, it will take data from this system, so our marketing cloud. Maybe it could be any data, um, some logs. For example, I will just data log, maybe I can put like this, or maybe year data also I can put it, and I can take this. Suppose if I wanted to take audit trial of access, like where you people are logging in, like how you people are logging in, or maybe if it is integrated with Salesforce, if I want to take some Salesforce reports and activities, like who, what, how they are doing it. So you can take this one and put next. And also you can take it on a specific range. See here, like last 7 days you can take based on the time zone, or maybe some specific time zone you wanted to take. For example, if I wanted to see like how you people have done these operations, or maybe I will put some last 7 days itself in central time, and include headers, convert into ASCII, apply time zone. So you can just do it, finish. Yeah, so this one, once this is completed, when this is successful, it goes into here, and this one will pull all the data and it would store into this export file. So here it gets stored. So we get the complete report over here. And suppose imagine that is this import file fails, it will not go here. So this is a complete flow. It flows like this. And also imagine that you are doing some other operation, like simultaneously I want you to do two operations. That means this import file, right? So imagine that I'm putting this data and I wanted to distribute it to two data actions. That means I wanted to distribute to here, if I wanted to put the file, like whatever the file I gave, I wanted to give one some to Ankan also I have to give the documents, and for Ashok also if I wanted to give the documents, then what we can do is we can do here, like see here, we can do it like this, put it here. I can, maybe I have to create some new one. So I can put this here. I can put a send notification. Next, see here I can put it to Ankan's data extension. So I can put here to him and I can put next. So here I can put it, and if I could activate this, what happens is simultaneously both the people will have the data into data extensions. So you can put like some 15 till 15, I guess. I'm not 100% sure with this because there's not a good practice. You have to make your automation lean. The problem is if one fails, other also fails, it would mess up. So it should be, automation should be so flexible that you have to debug, or if any mistake happens, you should be able to recover that one immediately. So you can add this, maybe you can add one more, or maybe you can add one more. So you can add like this, but usually this is possible doing it, having a multiple operations in the steps, but it's not so best practice, I would say. So yes, we can keep this for now. And one more thing is this file transfer. This file transfer is like as I said, if you see here, there is you can manage the files, you can zip the files into this itself, because this is still, this is also not enabled. But what you can do is zip my file, you can keep it like this, and you can zip the file here. So here you have to give some file like demo dot zip, you can give, and where you have to put it, whether you have to put it into a safe house, or whether you have to put it there itself, or maybe you can put it into export. So where you have to put, you can just give a location. And already if there is a zip file, you can unzip it, or if already there is a encrypted file, you can decrypt it. So you can select any of the options like this, and you can activate this. So this is also possible. So this is for transferring the file. That means when you have a different FTPs, right? Like as I said, there is a safe house where you wanted to put the data safely, or else there is one more export FTP. So if you wanted to transfer the data from one file location to another file location, you have to use this. And also, what is data extract here? Maybe here you will have a lot of options, but maybe when I'm explaining you in a real time org, maybe you will have more idea, because if you see here, we are extracting only audit trail activity log, but basically there are a lot of options in this one. You can raise a case with Salesforce and they would enable all these options. Maybe you can extract you can extract a lot of Salesforce reports, maybe case reports, account reports. So at a time you cannot take everything out, so you have to ask Salesforce people, they would enable it. Once you can do this, if you run this automation, everything will come into FTP. So once the data comes into FTP, the person who's putting a data can also take the data over here. So for the reporting purpose, they can take it. So these two is for information sake. And also this refresh groups also is the same. Currently we don't have any groups, but let us keep this on hold and maybe we can think about it later. And one more is fire event. So this fire event, why we need this is, so this one, it's like a trigger in Salesforce. Yeah, so if you write some trigger on a Salesforce, so some operation happens on that particular data extension. So any other events are there that would start activating. So here maybe I see this one used extensively on journey builders. So imagine you have a journey builder which has a starting point as a event. So I'll show you this one later. So once if I imagine that you choose here, you're going to create on maybe for Ashok's data extension, I have created this. Now we have some fire event on this one. I have saved it. So here automation comes here, it imports the file, it extracts it, it transfers it, and it comes here. And as soon as this ran, so what happens here is in the journey builder, so here let us take one journey builder here. Maybe I'll just do this. Let's don't think so. This. So here there's an event here. So if I start an event, if I wanted to send an email, or maybe if I wanted to wait for some time, and maybe if I wanted to send some push notification. So here I have to send a lot of things on particular data extension. So it comes here, it hits that, and it stops. Once it hits that, from here on whatever on that particular data extension, so whatever the events which is there, so everything gets activated and it starts running. So here we have to put it on that particular data extension, and maybe I can explain this later when I'm explaining this, so I don't want to confuse you guys. So this is for this one. So basically these three things we don't use it very frequently, but it all depends. For your knowledge, it is important to know these things, like what is file transfer, what is data extract, and what is fire event. But apart from these things, what and all are there which is very frequently used. So let us forget these things and let us create some scenario, and we would try to execute this. So now what we would do is, let this be here. So let me go into this data extension. I'm going to clear this out. So I have opened this. Maybe I will take only few here. So the problem is why I'm getting is this, because this is because the problem with the regional settings in the Excel sheet. So that's the problem I'm getting this. So what I would do is as of now I cannot do anything, but let it be. So we'll just take these many things. So I have saved it here. So now I will first, what we would do is, let me check what is it. So it's fine. Now we are going to put some SQL query on it. So this SQL query says some check email. So this one I did it, and next thing is maybe here I will, this one if you want you can wait for 1 minute just for a knowledge sake. And next thing is we are going to send out an email. So I go here, and here we can create a send activity. So I will go to my trainings. I will take one email. Maybe I'll take this. This is the email done, but we have to edit it because it has activity on this. So this is the email. Here we have to select a classification and user who is sending an email, delivery profile, where it needs to go, and you can preview the email itself here only. Click next. The audiences have been deleted and have been removed. This definition. So audience could not be loaded, so it has a publication list on this. So that's the reason. Let's come back and see what is. So here we can target it on a different data extension. We'll go here. So here, whichever the data comes into this, you can drag and drop here. So publication list, do you need publication list? We will take all subscribers. We don't need publication list. And if you have any exclusions or suppressions, you can add it here. Deduplicate subscribers, you can enable this. That means imagine if you have a lot of other email IDs, it will not go. Like if you have a duplicate, like if I'm trying to send to a lot of email IDs, then it deduplicates it and it tracks the clicks, the folder it tracks. Next, and here it you have to give a consent that this is the name, this is the things you can verify everything. So totally targeted 5 people. It gives everything here. You can enable this, you can click finish. So now this is also fine. Now you can save this and you have activated it. Just activated it. Now what I can do is I would just change this to let this. Even if I add for one more, it's fine because I get only once because I have enabled deduplicate over there. Yes, so that's it. Now I'm going to put it into this. Let me see what is the status of my automation. Yes, it is active. Please save it. So here you get a green dot. It's fine. Now I can use this one. I open this. I already have it. It is still fine. Okay. And that's it. So here it says that it is going here. So it is in a progress state and it is going on. So this first one is done and the second one. So this file import was successful and currently it is doing the data load and again, yeah. So it is the query is running and after this one and this one. So let it go here. Let us see how it works. So now currently if you see in this one, um, yeah, still not it. It's happening. Let's see. So this is about the automation studio currently, but we will get more scenarios and we will do it. And you know, we will have one more session on this one earlier, so a little bit of more real-time scenarios we can discuss, and also for complex automations maybe I will show you on a real-time org like how the complex automations are built, how multiple profiles, how send classifications have been used. So I will be explaining when I speak about the real-time project. And here if you wanted to see the how activities are happening, you can come here and you can see there are a lot of activities which is happening. All the user initiateds also you can send. So currently what we have done here is just configuring the user initiated only, because we configured the user initiated which was built by Ashok already. So, and also you can see everything over here, and all the file transfers, file extracts, everything would be here. And suppose you have created automations and you don't want to use it, you want to delete it, you come here. If you hover it, there is a delete option which comes here. When you click this, it gets deleted. Or if you want to run everything again, you can just click this, you can run it. Or maybe how to test this automations. Maybe for example, if you want to test an automation, I already told you yesterday, because FTP you have to test it through putting a file drop only. After other than that, if you wanted to test, for example, if you wanted to test this data extract or a file transfer or any filter or anything apart from import file, if you want to test anything, because if you see here, this, if I put this file drop option, if I put this one here, and if I put this one here, and if I save it, see here, what happens is here there is no run once option. Using file drop you cannot run this out, so you can have to delete it here. And if I put a schedule here, so then only I will get this run once here. See here, this run once, because we don't have activity, it's not there. So if you see here, you can see this run once. If you want to test this, you can test it again. And also imagine this is a small automation. There will be a scenario where they will be having like some 868 some a huge flow, like almost like 13-14 flows. There are 13-14 steps, so it's always difficult for you to do it again and again. So in that case, what you can do is you can go to the existing automation. You can there is option called as copy automation here. So here you can copy the automation here. You can copy, you can duplicate it, like for example, you can keep like this and you can copy it, and you can go there. You can see here, you can view it here. So here we have one more automation here. See here, we have this. If you want, you can edit it. So everything has been copied over here. Instead of doing it again, it's a painful process. So you can do it by copying it. And if you want to delete it, you can delete it here only. So this is how it is. So now this is completed, the automation is completed. If you see here, there's also import which is completed. It's already 4 is inserted. Let's see what happened to this. So here it had only 2 with name of Banu. It came 2 came here. And also if you go to other data extension, as we said, the 4 came here. And what and all we did here, so came here, and the last one failed. So let's see why or not this is successful. This one, it waited, it sent an email, and now it is successful. I need to see whether the email I did not receive. Yes, so I got the email here. Yes, so this was the email. So it has all the information here with all the links. So I got the email. Why I got only one email is because I have enabled the deduplicate option. So that's the reason I got one email. Ideally, I filtered only for this, so I got the email. So this is all about this one. So I can now inactivate this. So guys, you can play with this. I know you can make some mistakes, rectify it. If you have any problem, you can always reach out to me. I can fix those issues. And also in user initiated, I missed only one simple concept, that is deduplication. Maybe you people might have seen this. If you come here in this user initiated, if you create some user initiated, let me see. you take something here, um, when you edit the recipients, okay, this email maybe is invalid. So let me go to something which is already existing. So this is the one what we have used, because here we create the user initiated and we automate it there. So here when you come over here, say deduplicate by email address. So if you enable this one, then you don't get multiple emails. So that is important. So when you are adding the data extension, you will get an option here. So once you enable that here, maybe here I'm not getting it because already built. So you get an option. So if you enable that one, you don't get a duplicate emails, because chances are there that there will be a bad data when you load a data. For example, by mistake, you already loaded some 1,000 audiences, and on top of it you added some 300 data extensions, 300 records. But when you send out an email, there could be a chance that duplicate email id is there. If a person receives 2 time emails, it's a loss for you and a loss for them also, because every email for you, it is a price. So you have to enable that one. If you enable that one, they don't get a duplicate email. So that is one more important thing. So this is about the things. And yeah, maybe this week anyway, I feel that it went successfully. Mm, you have 2 more days time. Please practice well, and if you have any doubts, reach out to me. Next week we will concentrate more on little bit higher level of marketing cloud, little bit a complicated level of marketing cloud.